What's going on? VitalSyntax here, and this is some gameplay from the PlanetSide 2 beta. Been playing this for probably 2 to 3 weeks now, thanks to my buddy Dark Trooper, who sent me the beta key a while ago. You're awesome, and thanks so much for sending it to me. And by the way, this game has been under a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA, meaning I wasn't allowed to upload gameplay up until just the other day that they released or undid the NDA, so people can upload gameplay and talk about the beta and things like that. So I'll probably be uploading a couple more videos in the future about this game. Keep in mind, this is a beta. This is not the full release version. When it is fully released, it's going to be a free-to-play game, which I think hopefully they will stay away from the pay-to-play model that everybody hates. We'll just have to see and wait. I mean, obviously, every developer claims that they're not going towards that direction, but a lot of them still fall to that little trap. But anyway, let's talk about this game in relative terms, because for me, this is my first PlanetSide game. This is PlanetSide 2. I didn't play PlanetSide 1, and I know a lot of people don't like it when people will compare games. Like, they'll say this, this game kind of feels like this game in this sense, or it has gameplay aspects from this game, and I can understand that because it's kind of a rough estimate, but that's really the best I can do. And I think it's also a good estimate for viewers that play certain games that I've also had experience with. So, for example, I'm just going to say this game kind of gameplay and mechanics feels a lot like Battlefield 3. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of the same types of infantry combat, a lot of the same type of vehicle combat, both land and air combat. You've got things like tanks that I'm in right here. You've got unit transport vehicles. You've got big, huge, almost AC-130. I forget what they're called. They have pretty cool names for all the different vehicles. And by the way, if you feel free to leave any comments down below on corrections that I accidentally say things improperly, because I guarantee there's gonna be a lot of things that I say wrong just because I'm such a new player to this genre, or not to this genre, but to this title. But anyway, the gameplay to me feels a lot like Battlefield 3. But since there's so many people, there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players in each server. And if you're interested, I'm playing in the US West server. And there's also different factions. I don't know all the names. I know one of them is the New Conglomerate. I'm not playing as that one. There's a couple other ones, and they all have their own type of background story that you can kind of read into. And they all have different weapons. They have different vehicles. They all are basically fighting over control, and there's 4 of them, and they're all kind of starting from one corner of the map, fighting for control over the map. And from my understanding, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, take this with a grain of salt, from my understanding, the game never ends. It's kind of just like a constant battle for territory, which is actually really cool. And also, from my understanding, when you capture objective, when you capture points, which I'll show some clips of me capturing some different points around the map. And by the way, there are tons and tons of essentially flags to capture. They're more like little computer units, so you just kind of walk up next to you. But it's similar to Battlefield 3 in the sense that you're trying to like capture flags like in Conquest. And this game kind of gives you that unique feeling that I've never experienced before of being a tiny, tiny soldier in a huge, huge battle. I mean, Battlefield 3 gives you that sense a little bit if you're playing on like the 64-man servers, because you're just 1 out of 64 players. But still, it's not a large enough scale warfare to get that kind of experience that this game offers. The only other game that's kind of similar in that sense was MAG. If you guys played that, I played it on the PS3. I think it was a PS3 exclusive, actually. And now, just to let you know, I switched up to a different class here with the rocket launcher and the light machine gun. I believe I also have the ammo drop. I really like in this class. And there's a couple different classes you can choose between, like sniper and engineer and medic and things like that. But I'll probably get more into the technical details in a later video. This is kind of just a first impression and kind of overview of what the game's about. And I forgot what I was talking about, but anyhow, I'll just keep talking about a couple more comparisons. So I think the gameplay feels a lot like Battlefield 3. Graphics to me look a lot like a mix between Halo and Tribes Ascend, if you guys played that game. It has a futuristic feeling. It has a lot of the weapons. The weapon and the recoil and things like that feel, and the gunplay also feels a lot like Battlefield 3. but the weapon, the way they look, the maps you're playing on, the vehicles that you're driving around, they all kind of remind me of like a Halo setting, or like Halo type of vehicle, and it's really, really cool. And for me, it's kind of refreshing. You know, a lot of shooters today are your, you know, modern military shooters that are set in like a couple years in the future, or set in like Afghanistan or Iraq right now. And I like to see games that are, you know, in a different setting, and for this one, you know, being in a futuristic setting, which is pretty awesome to see. And now I've switched up to another class here. I believe this is the engineer class. The engineer class actually is the one with the ammo and the repair tool, I believe. There's a couple other items you can get. There's like a turret you can set down, and here's me capturing one of the flag points, or one of the objectives. The recon class, you can kind of go invisible. It's not completely invisible. It's kind of similar to the Halo mechanic where you're see-through. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, the snipers felt really underpowered. I've only played with the recon class, or I think it's called the infiltrator. I'm not sure. They have different names for the classes, but essentially the class of the sniper rifle. It felt really underpowered. Like, it's taking like 4 or 5, even more sometimes, to kill a person, which I thought was kind of ridiculous, especially because there's, you know, ballistics in this game. You actually have to compensate for travel time. I'm not sure about bullet drop, but definitely travel time. I feel like the snipers should be at least a 3-hit kill. 2-hit kill sounds good to me. And, you know, obviously a 1-hit kill headshot. And maybe there's some other balancing issues. The pistols, oh my gosh, the secondary you get is a 3-round burst pistol, and essentially if you pull the trigger fast enough, it's completely fully automatic with an incredibly high fire rate, a large magazine, and you can throw a laser attachment on there, and the hip fire is ridiculous, and that thing might need to be nerfed a little bit. I'm not sure. As it sits right now, there's not a ton of weapons, and there's not a ton of different optics and attachments and stuff. Actually, well, I should take back the attachments thing, because there are quite a few attachments you can throw onto the weapons, and it's similar to Battlefield 3 in that sense as well, as you can have like a optic attachment, you can have a barrel attachment, you can have like an underbarrel attachment. I'm pretty sure you can have like one of each. But yeah, anyway, those are just kind of some overview mechanics of PlanetSide 2. I'm really enjoying the game. If you guys would like to see some more gameplay, let me know in the comments down below, or by leaving a like or favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video.